What's going on, guys? My name is FeintAttacks and I am your coach for the Manchester Magnezones. Now guys, last week we were sat here and I was battling Game Boy Luke, and unfortunately we lost. So we've not got a win under his belt. Yet. So today we're going up against Leo. He is the coach of the Durham Druddigons, and today we was hoping to get a win. You'll find out what happens in the battle. It was an actually interesting battle, to be honest. I kind of did this battle at like 3 AM in the morning. And like the night before, I was out all night and I was super tired. So I wasn't really thinking straight in this battle. So I kind of just like, when I had to battle him. And I wish I could have done it like within like the week, but I really couldn't because me being in the UK and Leo living in the America, our times don't really match up because he's always working when I'm free, and when I'm free, he's always working. So the only time we could really battle was like 3 AM in the morning when he finished work. So unfortunately, that's like what kind of had to happen. That's why I was so sloppy in this battle. But anyways, we are bringing this week with us. We got the we're repping Manchester. We still got the Magnezone with. We've got the Porygon. We've got Meloetta, Mightyena, Xatu, and Luponi. And Leo's bringing Miltank, Charizard. It's the Mega Charizard X, Cresselia, Azumarill, Drapion, and Rotom. I tell you something, I do not like that Drapion from this battle. I do not like that Drapion. I really don't like that Drapion, just because of the fact on how bulky that thing is, and I had no ground moves or whatever just to actually do something against it, so it was really bad. But anyways, going to jump straight into the battle. If you could go ahead, hit that thumbs up button for me, because it's greatly appreciated, and do please go out and check Leo's channel. It will be down below in the description. Alright, so first things first, I'm going to start off with Magnezone, and he's going to go into the Rotom. So the Rotom goes straight off into the Volt Switch. He's going to pull off a little bit of damage on Manchester. It's not too much really to worry about anyways. So he's going to switch out here and he goes into Miltank. Now, me being choice, I thought, I'm going to go straight for the Hidden Power Fire. I wasn't thinking straight. I thought, alright, so I wanted to get the Hidden Power Fire off on the Rotom more, but unfortunately I didn't. And I go into the Miltank. Now, it does do some decent damage, but saying that, I am choiced, so I was really tied into what I could do there. So I'm going to have to return here and I go into Porygon. I'm thinking, alright, what can this Miltank do? I've never battled a Miltank in my life. I've never battled one. So I'm like, alright, I'm going to trace it. I'm going to get the Scrappy. I'm just going to try and pull off as much damage as I can here. He goes for the Body Slam, hopefully trying to get the paralysis on me. Doesn't manage to happen anyway, so Duckface just eats that up. Literally, he just eats that. He's like, yeah, you can sit on me all day. I literally don't care. Well, in those kind of terms, we'll just say that. But anyway, so he's going to withdraw his Miltank now, and he's going to go into his Drapion. Now, I really should have thought to myself here, alright, I really should have thought to myself, let me switch out and go into my Totem Bird to get the Magic Bounce back. But I don't. I completely forgot about my Magic Bounce. So he does manage to get up some Toxic Spikes, and those Toxic Spikes absolutely kill me throughout this game. I go for a Tri-Attack. I know Drapion's quite bulky, and I'm like, alright, I'm just going to have to throw some power at this thing. He goes for the knockoff to knock off the Eviolite. And I'm thinking, right, I still need to take some damage off this thing because I know the Drapion's going to be such a huge problem for me. And he is. He really is in this battle. Thunderbolt is absolutely doing nothing to this thing. It is absolutely bulky as shit. So anyways, I go, you know what, this is enough. I'm not having this anymore. I'm going to withdraw my Porygon now, and I'm going to go back into Manchester because I know Manchester's Scarf, and I know he's quite powerful. Here again, I should have gone into Totem Bird, expecting the Toxic Spikes, but I didn't, and I felt so bad for doing that. I really could have pulled this off a lot better. So I'm going to go into Magnezone here, and he's going to withdraw, and he goes into Rotom more. So I'm thinking, alright, I'm going to pull off a little bit of damage with this thing. We're going to go for a T-Ball. I know it's going to really just eat it up. So I'm thinking, alright, this is my time now. I'm going to go into Totem Bird. I know this thing can run Will-O-Wisp as well. So when I pulled this move off, I was literally walking around the room. I was fucking bawling when I pulled this move. I was like, yo, bitch, you don't fuck with me. And so literally I pulled this off, go for the Will-O-Wisp back on it. I know it's like we're just one of the normalest players in the world, but I was literally bawling my ass off. I was I felt so good. So anyways, get the Magic Bounce back onto the Rotom there. So he's going to withdraw here. I'm pretty sure he goes into Miltank. Now, Miltank was causing a big problem for me just because of the fact that it's really bulky as well. So Totem Bird can't really do anything whatsoever. So I'm going to go for the Calm Mind here. Try to get that special attack and special defense up. I know, literally, he's not one of the greatest hard hitters about. So I'm thinking, alright, I'm going to just go for a Side Shock. I did not predict him I really didn't. I thought he was going to stay with Miltank because he'll think, alright, he might have something that can do something to Totem Bird. So he withdraws and goes back into his Drapion. I go for the Side Shock, and unfortunately, it ain't going to do shit. It really is not going to do shit whatsoever. So I'm like, alright then, I'm going to go for a Heat Wave. Try pull off a little bit of damage. He may go back into Rotom. He doesn't. I'll go for the Heat Wave. He avoids the attack, so he hits that knockoff on me, and it's absolutely annoying, so that's going to knock my leftovers off. So I was pretty pissed about that. But it's whatever really, so I'm thinking, alright, I'm going to have to return this now, aren't I? I'm return Totem Bird, and I'm going to go back into Manchester, expecting this guy to hit me with another knockoff, knowing that he's going to try and KO my Totem Bird. So I'm like, screw it, alright, go for the knockoff. It's going to pull off a little bit of damage on me. Manchester's bulky as shit. He absolutely loves it. So anyways, Leo's going to withdraw here and go into his Cresselia. I'm just going to the Hidden Power Fire because I want Rotom to come out. I really do want Rotom to come out, but he doesn't. And that's what I'm getting so mad. So I'm going to go for the Hidden Power Fire now. I'm choiced back into it, so that's kind of annoying. But it's whatever. So Cresselia here, after getting a little bit of leftovers, he goes for the Moonblast, which we all know Manchester can eat that up. We all know Manchester can eat that up for days. He gave up for days. It's like, what? What? Exactly, Cresselia. So I'm going to go for the Volt Switch here. I'm going to go into my Mighty N and try pull off. And that Volt Switch with a crit there did so much damage. I was so happy about that. But then again, I forgot about Toxic Spikes. Really did. So I go into Loki here. And he gets hit with the poison. And that is absolutely annoying as shit. But it's whatever, really. So I'm going to go for the Tri-Attack, expecting this guy to go for a move, not Tri-Attack, sorry, what is it? Sucker Punch, there we go, I got it in the end. Expecting this guy to go for a Moonblast, but he doesn't, unfortunately, and then goes back into the Drapion, so he was expecting like a Dark-type move to hit him. So that's a really decent play from Leo there. So I'm like, alright then, I'm just going to have to go for a move here. I'm just going to try to take as much HP off this Drapion as I can, because I need this Drapion to be... Drapion? I've been calling it Drapion the whole game. Is it Drapion? Drapion. It's one of the two. Who really cares? Anyways, so I go for the Play Rough. It's not really going to do that much. He goes for the Poison Jab, and that's just going to leave me on a little bit of HP after the Poison as well. So I'm thinking, alright, whatever. I don't really know. I had nothing else really, so I go for a real bad misclick here. I went to go for the Play Rough again, but I do manage to go for the Sucker Punch, and he does go into his Azumarill. I know I went for Play Rough. I didn't expect him to bring out into the Azumarill, but he probably did, knowing that a Sucker Punch was coming or something like that, so it's whatever really. So, anyways, so my Tiana dies to the poison there, so that's really annoying, so that's one down, and I'm kind of getting mad now, so I'm like, alright, I'm going to go into Manchester, I'm going to try hit this thing with a Thunderbolt, but unfortunately he does return and goes into his Miltank. So I'm like, alright, screw it, I'll go for the Flash Cannon. This was predicting try before. I go for the Flash Cannon. I'm like, alright then, whatever. Try to take off a little bit of damage on this Miltank, and it does quite decent enough there, so I was pretty happy about that. Now this is the part where it gets really annoying. So I'm alright then, he goes for the Milk Drink. I'm like, oh my god. So I'm going to go for the Volt Switch here, because I do know I need to get out, and I need to get into my Lopunny. So Lopunny can pull off some damage on this Miltank. I know if this thing hit it with a high jump kick, some shit like that, it'll pull off some decent damage. Lopunny hitting with that high jump kick is going to pull off decent damage on anything, really, to be honest. So I'm going to go into my Drama Bunny here. I did have this thing called Waifu at one point, but so now it's Drama Bunny. So okay then. Anyways, after getting hit with a poison, that's really annoying. I'm going to go into a Mega Evolution here and go for the Fake Out, because I wanted to pull off some damage. I didn't know what this thing was going to do, but he does go for the Withdraw there and goes into his Azumarill. So I'm going to, like I said, Mega Evolve and go for the Fake Out. Does pull off a little bit of damage on the Azumarill, and this thing was really annoying for me. This is my first time actually using Mega Lopunny, so I was a little bit cautious onto what I could do. But I just go for the Fake Out here, just thinking nothing. I really could have gone for the Return. I think that would have hit a lot harder, to be honest. But Fake Out does a little bit of damage on that thing, but it gets leftovers and pretty much did hardly nothing. So I'm like, alright then, I'm going to have to make something about here. So I go back into Magnezone, as the Azumarill goes for a Azumarill, not the Azumarill, goes for a Play Rough on me. It doesn't really do that much damage to me. So I'm like, alright then, we can live this up. I'm like, alright, we've got 29 HP. Manchester Magnezones, how do we do this? How do we do this? So I'm like, alright, we gotta think. I want to go for a T-Bolt. I knew he was gonna withdraw. I knew it. I knew he would have not stayed in. So I'm like, screw it. I'm gonna get myself choiced into Thunderbolt, because that's probably one of my most powerful moves on Magnezone there. So I'm gonna go for the T-Bolt here. And this is where it starts to get a little bit annoying. Nearly kills it. Nearly kills that goddamn thing. That's why I was so upset. And I was like, no, I could have killed that thing. I was so upset. And just here, he keeps going for the milk drink. And I was like, oh my god. That was really, really annoying. But I'm just going to keep going for the T-Bolt here. Try pull off as much damage. In the end, he really just decides just to slack off his Miltank here, because he goes for these Stealth Rocks. Trying to get these Stealth Rocks up. But it's whatever, really. I know Miltank really couldn't do that much. I would have just kicked on, like, hitting it with a Thunderbolt anyways. So it didn't really have a choice. So I go for the Flash Cannon here, thinking, come on, you can do a little bit more damage. But knowing that I got myself knocked off by, what you call it, the Drapion or whatever, so I know, alright, I'm not scarfed anymore. So my mind wasn't thinking straight. It really wasn't thinking straight, because it was like 3 AM in the morning, honestly. So he goes for the stones. I'm going to go for a T-Bolt, just to get this thing over with. And finally, he does decide to slack off Miltank there. So that's all good in the end, really. So I'm like, alright, one down. Finally got one down. So he goes into his Charizards here, and then he goes for the Mega Evolution and goes for a Dragon Claw onto my Magnezone. Now, really, Magnezone is quite useless in the minute. He's not going to outspeed a Mega Charizard X, so that was the most unfortunate thing about it. Maybe if I had my Choice Scarf on me still, I could have pulled off a Thunderbolt or something like that. Who knows? I don't really know Charizard's speed. But I don't know if Manchester would have outsped him with a Choice Scarf. I would have just gone for the Thunderbolt, and probably that could have KO'd the thing. Hopefully, I would have wished. So I'm thinking, alright, I'm going to go into Lopunny, and I'm going to go for an Ice Punch now, see if I can pray to the gods to get like Ice Freeze Hacks. I really prayed, but nothing happened in the end, and I pulled off a crit at least, though, so I was really happy about that. But he goes for the Dragon Claw there, and that is going to take out Lopunny. Now, this Charizard was causing major problems for me. It really was. I go into Porygon here, and I really should have gone into Meloetta straight off the bat from this. So I go into Porygon. I'm thinking, alright, maybe I might live up a Dragon Claw. Maybe, probably not. I'm going to go for the T-Bolt anyways and hope to pray that I can pull off some damage on this thing. But unfortunately, he does go for the Flare Blitz on me. I was hoping maybe he'll miss, but he didn't. He had to hit. He really had to hit. I think if he would have gone for Dragon Claw, I may have survived. But he goes for the Flare Blitz there, just to take me out. I don't really know the damage calc on the Dragon Claw, but it's whatever really. It takes me out either way. So I go into Meloetta. I don't know, I outspeed the guy, but I didn't know this. I really didn't know this, so I'm going to go for a Dazzling Gleam here, and that's going to take out Charizard X. I really should have gone into Meloetta straight off the bat from this and gone for a Dazzling Gleam, but like I said, this is my first time using these mons, so I didn't really look up the speed stats and everything while I was playing. It was 3 AM in the morning, what do you expect? So, it's whatever really. So my Meloetta takes out the Charizard X, which I was pretty happy about. I mean, I know I was going to lose this battle in the end of it, so it's whatever really. Goes for the Volt Switch there. Meloetta is extremely bulky. Extremely. I didn't expect it to be this bulky whatsoever, but he's absolutely unreal to use. I'm really happy about using him. So I go for the Psyshock here. I know it's not going to really do that much to Cresselia. I was just hoping I could hit a Psyshock on the Rotom, but he goes for the Volt Switch, like I said, and just gets out of it. So anyways, now I'm going to go for a Focoplast. I'm just thinking, alright, I need to take some damage off this Cresselia. I'm going to pray, hope that I get a crit or something like that, and it may take it out. I know it's not going to do that much to it, but I do manage to actually pull off a crit here, so I was pretty happy about that. I'm like, Focus Blast, hit this thing hard. Really didn't do anything, but imagine if I didn't get that crit. I would have been like, what? So anyways, he goes for the Moonblast here. And I'm like, alright, can I finally take out this thing? Can I really take out this thing? I was going to go for a Hyper Voice and hopefully take it out. But unfortunately, Leo does withdraw his Cresselia here and goes into Azumarill. So I'm like, alright then, I can't really do anything. I'm going to have to hit this Azumarill with what I've got. And I'm pretty sure it is the, I think it is Hyper Voice I hit here, and then the Poison unfortunately does take out Meloetta. Now, I'm really happy about using Meloetta. Like I said, it's my first time using the guy, so I was pretty happy about it. It's a decent Pokemon, it really is. It's bulky as well, so that's what I really like about it. But unfortunately here, the Poison does take me down, and I go into my Totem Bird, which is my Azatu. It does get hurt by the stones, and then it does unfortunately die to a Aqua Jet by Leo. So if I would play this game a little bit more concentrating, rather than been 3 AM in the morning, I really could have used Totem Bird to his full potential. The only thing with the problem with my team at the minute, I've got no Defogger, so I'm hoping to get like a trade or something like that. and get like something at least onto my team that's a defogger. But nevertheless, it was a great battle. You know, like I said, guys, I'm not the biggest Wi-Fi battler about, so I don't really know the ins and outs on everything. You guys have been coming out though every week and supporting this series so much, and it's been absolutely fantastic, so I can't thank you guys enough for that. Like I said though, if you did enjoy, go ahead, hit that thumbs up button for me. We're currently 0-2 in the UCL, but it's whatever. We're just here to have a good time, guys. We're here to learn. That's the main thing about it. Like I said, hit that thumbs up button if you did enjoy. I've been Christian. Thank you so much, and I will see you next time, guys. Peace.